tutorial, we looked at drawing with Illustrator, so using freehand and primitives, and also some shortcuts for copying and repeating and things like that. So now we're going to look at how we might use some of those things in developing a logo, but also looking at certain color palettes that might help us in kind of deciding on good color and working with color. Okay, so here you have the shapes that we worked with earlier. So this is a manipulated circle which we used the direct selection to tweak. And then we copied and put this bit around, and you can see it's the beginning of perhaps a logo type, so an S or a coffee bean or something. Now what we can do is just use the selection tool here just to select both objects. So these are objects, and then we can group them together so that they become temporarily one image. So if we go to the object menu, we select both things here, go to the object menu, and look here, we can see groups. So we're going to group them together. Shortcut is Command and G. What that means is if we just select that image now with the selection tool and rotate it, it behaves like one image. If we resize it, the same thing happens. Okay, so we can ungroup them at any time by Object Ungroup or Shift Command G. Okay, so we've got our beginning here. We just want to make a copy of that. So if we go to Option, see the double cursor there, click and drag, and as we're dragging, hold Shift. We're going to copy here, and then to repeat the action, we just do Command D, and that will give us a number of copies all in the same location. Okay, so if we want to get into any of these components of the grouped object, we can just use the direct selection, so the white arrow, just to click any part of those things, and that will select the actual part that we want to work on. And then we can start to think about comparing and doing different colors. So what you'll want to do at some point is have 2 or 3 versions of something and then line them up on the screen and then compare and make a decision on which one will look the best. And this can be either something to do with color in a logo, or a different stroke, or quality of line, or typography, just a way of sort of grouping things together and comparing. And so if we wanted to go in here and sort of look at color, we could use the color picker here, but actually this is quite a laborious way of dealing with color because we have to double click here and then choose from a range here, as you can see, and then click again. And so it involves quite a few clicks. So a simpler way of doing it, one way, would be to go to our color menu here, and you can see I've got various things open that will help me just to quickly select color and to work with it more fluidly. So all your palettes here are in the window menu, and at the moment I've got color guide and themes open, as well as swatches down here. Okay. So quick and easy way of changing color is to direct select the bit that you want to change. You can get a quick baseline selection using this bar here and the eyedropper, and then you can fine tune that by using these little sliders on here. Okay, so that's quick and easy. We can then go into the color guide. And this is quite a useful tool because what it will allow us to do is have a selected color. So in this case, this yellow we have, which is selected here, and you'll see if I do this, it changes. And then to select, this color guide will give you a range of colors that go with that color selected, either that are complementary based on certain harmonies. So if we have this color selected here and go into this harmony bar here, you can see I've got complementary selected. Complementary 2 will give me a different set of colors. I can go further down and get shades. So this will give me shades of that color. And then the bar of colors underneath would be from shades to tints of those color harmonies that are pre-selected based on the initial color that I've chosen. So here, if I go to complementary, for instance, up here, complementary 2, let's just try. I've got the yellow selected here, but I could choose something from a range of things that are offered to me that are in this bar, which would be complementary to that first colour I've selected. So if I go here and then I choose this one, you can see you might say they go well together. I could go further afield, I could try a different colour here, so let's just try something that's a bit more primary. Go in here, go in the colour guide, and you'll see I've got a different range of colour harmonies that are suggested to me based on complementary to. And I can go in here and say, okay, I'm going to go for just this. And away we go. And so this is really just a tool that helps you to make certain decisions about colour based on a harmony guide that's sort of pre-selected, which will give you either complementary or a triad or whatever. Another feature that's in here is this colour themes bar. Now the colour themes bar came from an original app which Illustrator and Adobe used called Cooler, and it allows you to use themes and collections of colours based on other people's. So if you look at the Explore theme here, these are themes that other people use or have contributed. But also to save your own versions. So it's like a version, you make a version of this. So if you explore here, you'll see you've got most popular, most used this month. So these are sort of like, I guess, colours that are determined by a broad spectrum of users who use Illustrators, designers, other users that contribute their swatches to an open platform and that come into the software and that you can use. So that's the Adobe themes bit there. The last part you might want to think about is the swatches. So swatches are really a kind of point at which you can save your own versions. And you'll see in this themes bit here, you can, by clicking, so let's just say we've got this harmony that's in the harmony bar, and we're happy with that, we can save that to our swatches collection. So you see by pressing that plus, that swatch collection is collected here. But you can also manually do your own. So based on certain colours that you know work and that you want to kind of keep, you can create your own swatch collection here by clicking the folder icon, giving it a name, new swatches, selected swatches. Swatches. Got some name conflicts here. So I've now got a new folder. And based on certain colours that I like, that I've selected, so here I can go for this one, let's just say I like that one, or I've gone into here and I've worked out that certain colours are on brand, or I've been given a certain palette that I need to save by a client. I can go and select those colours and then just drag them and put them into my own swatch library. So here you can see if I hover over them, I've got different folders of swatches saved.